Russell of Hotels, going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is Tuesday, right? I know it's not 1 o'clock, but it's definitely Tuesday. So it can only mean one thing. On air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about. So just 1 second. I just want to make sure I am live on all the platforms I'm supposed to be live on. So I just click that button on Instagram. So I'm live on Instagram. So I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay, so there you go. So hope everyone is doing well. What's the reason for me, being late today? The Wi-Fi was down. Well, not just my Wi-Fi, because I know no one's going to believe me, right? It was the whole area's Wi-Fi. So we got notifications this morning because I'm at my desk about between like six o'clock in the morning, between 6 and 6:15 every morning, Monday through Friday. And I noticed that the Wi-Fi was not working. So I'm like, well, is it just me? So I restarted everything, rebooted and all that. And then started getting notifications from the provider, Spectrum, and that everything was out. I mean, it was a wide range, not just my street, not just the neighborhood, but a region, I guess, was out this morning. So, and it didn't come back on till about 1 o'clock, which did me no good. So normally the show on air starts at 1 o'clock, so I couldn't do it. And after, I mean, it did come back on, but I had some errands to run, so I just got back and I said, you know what? I cannot go. This is Tuesday, right? And it's show number 330. You can't do a, you can't miss a milestone, show. So that's 330. 330 is a milestone, right? Whoever thought I would do three, let alone 330? But here we are. So hope you guys are doing well. So, like I said, please forgive me. Well, I didn't say it, but please forgive me for the lateness, but hey, it couldn't be helped, right? So we're gonna get through this. This show does not have to be that long today, but of course I'm gonna let it drag out. So feel free to make comments. The comments are open, the chats are open. So it's all about engagement, and I do appreciate that. So there you go. So this is the monologue part. So I just want to make sure everything's working okay. And also I'm using this like a microphone right here. This is the first time I think I'm using this during the show. And I'm hoping that people can hear me, right? So I'm sitting here talking, blabbing, and I'm like, well, I hope, is this thing on? I hope this thing is working. So no one said anything. So we're just gonna keep going until someone says, I can't hear you. So anyway, but let me just check Instagram. Yeah, okay. So Instagram is live. Hello, Instagram people. Hope you guys are doing well. So everybody is there over there. Instagram has a delay, right? So it's kind of a delay because it's two separate. What am I trying to say? Well, it's two separate platforms, but it does not engage 100% with Restream. All the other ones do, but you have to do a separate thing. You have to copy and paste a streaming key and then put it into Instagram and all that kind of stuff, or Instagram on the Restream platform, and then it will work. Well, normally it works. So there you go. So you got to there's things you got to figure out when you're doing a podcast, and that's kind of gonna lead to kind of the topic for today. But I'll get to the topic in a little bit. But it's kind of it's going to lead into some of the topic that I'm talking about. That yeah, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. So anyway, anyone that's out there, please make a comment on the chat. Make sure you can hear me okay. I do appreciate that. That is what this kind of section is for. This monologue. Also, I try to tell a couple jokes, but they normally don't go across. But if you're on either one of those platforms, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Twitch, that's YouTube, that's LinkedIn, do something in the chat and say, yes, I hear you. That's all you got to do, right? I'm not putting anybody on blast or anything like that. That's all you have to do. Okay. Just do that. And you know what a podcaster's best friend is? A glass or bottle of water. Okay. So there you go. So you'll see me drinking water all day long or during the show. So anyway, so let's get this thing started. So let's get the start. Let's get the thing. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. So I have an intro. I'm gonna hit the button and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start the show. Like I said, it doesn't have to be that long. I got a couple things I want to talk about, and I do have a topic, and the topic's not going to be long, and it's going to be interesting. So anyway, I'll be back in 1 minute and 5 seconds. So count. Hey, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate that. Hey, this is once again, this is On Air with Russell of Hotels That Live Hospitality Talk Show that everyone's talking about. It's show number 330. Today is February 3rd, 2026. I appreciate you coming on. Once again, the chat is open. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, as well as Facebook. Okay, so if you're on either one of those platforms, feel free to make your comments, say hey, say what's going on, and we'll go from there. Okay, so if you don't have anything, that's okay. All right, if you don't want to say anything, that's okay too. I'm not here to put anyone on the spot. I just want to make sure you guys can see and hear me. Okay, that's all I want. Okay, so anyway, let's get to it. So no matter when I do one of these shows, I'm never going to not I'm never going to not. Is that proper English? I'm always, let me just say this. I'm always going to showcase a hotel. Okay. Always going to showcase a hotel or a destination. It could have been one that I showed already. It could be, excuse me, it could be something new. I don't know. But today, well, I guess I got a couple things, right? Before I even show that, before I even get started, tomorrow's IPEC, right? So for people that are going to IPEC, I'll be there tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. So I'll be there tomorrow afternoon, February 4th, or tomorrow, Wednesday through the 6th. It's going to be at the Gila River Resort and Casino, and that is in Chandler, Arizona, which is right outside of Phoenix. So you fly into Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, and I'm not sure how far it is. It got to be like, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes from the airport. I would think Chandler is there. It's got to be close. I mean, I've been to Phoenix in that area 100,000 times, so it's not far. Okay, so looking forward to that. That'll be my first business trip of the. Was it my first business trip of the year? Yeah, I mean this is February, right? So normally by now I've got like two under my belt. Like last year, I had like two in January of last year, but that's okay. This is a new year, so this is 2026. So I'm pacing myself this year. So I think I did like 13 business related trips last year. I don't have that many scheduled this year, but we never know what pops up, what comes up. So never say never. Okay. So once again, I will be there tomorrow, and of course, I'll be doing some lives there. Miss Tiffany, that's on my show on the daily check-in on Monday, she'll be there as well. So we'll be able to maybe collaborate along with some other people, right? Just why are these people here? Why are you here? I mean, I can't wait to just ask some people on a live, like, hey, why do you come to IPEC? What is it? What's the draw to IPEC? Whatever. And I'm gonna ask everyone that: hotel people, destination people, meeting planners, everybody, even the North Star people. I'm gonna ask them too. The people that run IPEC, I'm gonna ask them too. What brings you here? So look forward to that stuff. Okay. So the hotel I've been showing for, I guess, since last week, maybe a couple of days, but no guest rooms today. So this is a Pacific Palms Resort, and I think I just asked for a revision of certain segments, addendums in the contract. So I'm thinking if I get that today, or I'm gonna take it with me tomorrow, and I'm gonna sign it and give it to my salesperson. Okay, so we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make sure this thing is signed tomorrow, and we're gonna get this thing started. So I was there last week checking this hotel out for a group, and it fit everything that the group needs. So it was just a matter of going through the contract and making sure there's some terms in there that we could live with, the group could live with, because that's what it's all about, going through the contract. And every clause or every addendum does not fit every group, right? So I just want to make sure that those things are in there, and things are in there that the group can afford to have in there. They can afford to pay whatever the payment is. There has to be a schedule, right? So I just want to make sure all that stuff was taken care of. All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, if you will. So there you go. So that's part of what I do as a hotel site selection person. So we're gonna make it happen, and we're gonna make it happen at the Pacific Palms Resort, which is in Hacienda Heights, California. 292 guest rooms, 45,000 square feet of meeting space, just in case you couldn't read that. And yes, they do have non-meat eat options. I always want to make sure I showcase that, because to me, if you can put together food that has no meat, I think it's easy to prepare food with meat, right? It's harder to prepare food with no meat that has flavor, that makes a statement, right? So anytime I see that, because I'm always going to ask for it because that's all I eat. I don't eat meats, right? You guys know that. So to me, it shows creativity. You're not just trying to be like everyone else. You can do something a little different. You can be creative about what you do, and it still has flavor. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the efforts. So that's why I always talk about those things. That's why I always make sure I showcase the dish that I had in the restaurant, right? So if they can do this in their restaurant, they can do it in banquets, right? They can do something similar, or maybe just for that person that, or those people that don't have, they don't eat meat, they have another option, right? If there's tofu, because this had tofu in it for the protein. So, and I love tofu, right? So if there's tofu, it's a stir fry with broccoli. Okay, this is what I want. Okay, with rice. Oh, this is me. Okay, that's all I want. So it'll be easy, right? So thank you so much to the chef and his staff, or his or her staff there. I appreciate the non-meat eats. Appreciate it. This is a patio outside. I mean, I can just see this group outside right there taking over that area right there. So those are things that I look at. I have to imagine or picture this group there doing certain things, right? If that's golf, a golf tournament, or if that's taking over and dining outside, or enjoying that pond. The pool's over. You can't see it, but the pool's kind of to the left, enjoying the pool, taking over that area as well. Can you picture that? Can you imagine that for your group? And I could. I said, you know what? This is the right place to be. This is the right place to be. And it's kind of hidden it's only 20 miles from downtown Los Angeles, but it's like in a whole new world, right? Because it's on a hill and it's away from kind of the hustle and bustle of city life, if you will. So you're only a couple miles from the city life, but you're kind of tucked away. You're kind of up and tucked away from it. So it kind of gets you away from that for a little while, right? So there you go. I mean, yeah, you can't beat that, right? So, and there's one of those hidden gems that I forgot about, and I think I mentioned it last week, that because of sometimes hotels don't have they have a maybe a little lack of visibility, and you kind of forget about those things, and no one's calling you, no one's linking with you on, or connecting with you on LinkedIn or whatever. So you kind of forget about some of these hidden gems, if you will. And I had sent out an RFP, and this is the crazy thing. I had sent out an RFP to them, but I forgot that I sent out the RFP because it just wasn't top of mind, right? Some of these other hotels were, other destinations were. But when I couldn't find what I was looking for from the other ones, I kind of like looked back on my list and said, you know what, am I missing something here? And this one popped up. I'm like, you know what, I need to go and take a look, because I had not been back on this property, I want to say since 2019 or so. So I said, you know what, I need to go check it out. So I went to check it out and was pleasantly surprised. And Mr. Julio Arias showed me around and just fell in love with the property. Loved him as my sales contact, and there we go. And everything I've asked for to this point, I've received. I mean, I asked for the contract, it comes right away. I asked for some changes, boom, they're right there. Those are things that, to me, that goes a long way, right? So that goes a long way. So long before we get to where the group shows up, I mean, he's already showing professionalism, and that they want the group and all that. And that's basically all you want. So there you go. Is there something else? Okay, so this is kind of their kind of lobby area. I mean, they have a huge lobby area and a lot of seating as well. So that's what that is. That's what that is. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed something. Okay, we got to back up. Topic, real quick. It's not going to be that long. Topic. Okay, so how did this come about? How did this come about, this topic? Because I always got a story about a topic, right? So people ask me, they know I do this show, they do a podcast or whatever. I call it a live hospitality talk show, right? But we can say it's a podcast because all these shows all stem from podcasts. But a podcast is a traditional podcast is audio only, right? It's not video where you see people. It was audio only, similar to like a radio station. You never saw the people. You never saw the disc jockeys on radio. You just heard their voice. You fell in love with their voice. It's like, oh, hey, I'm Russell Edmond and blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh my God, that guy's voice is so dreamy. That's how it started, right? But then it turns in after the pandemic. Then the advent of like Facebook Live and all these other platforms started popping up. Instagram started doing lives and TikTok lives and all these things started. Restream and StreamYard and Ecamm, all those things started coming up where now you're getting visual. You're getting to look at these people. You don't just hear them, you get a chance to see them, right? Which changed the game, right? So now you're able to see them. So moving forward, people, would tell me because they know I do this show or a podcast or whatever. They said, hey, I always want to do a podcast. I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to start a podcast. And I would always say, well, do it. I mean, there's a lot of room for more people to do podcasts. That's great. I mean, there you go. Just do it though. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. You know what I mean? So start it and keep it moving. So they would ask me advice on how to do it. And of course, I'm always going to let you know how I did it. I mean, you do it how you want to do it, but I'm going to give you my advice and, the tools that I use. And even the tools that I start off using, I don't use anymore because you kind of evolve and technology has evolved, right? So I'm going to say last year, maybe mid last year, I was still using a green screen, but the technology on like Restream and Ecamm, it became so the technology started changing rapidly. Now you don't even have to have a green screen anymore, right? You don't have to have one. So just keep it moving, right? You don't have to do it. So I got two green screens. One is 10 by 10, another one like fits on the back of a chair kind of thing. But I don't use them anymore. So I'm about to throw them away. I'm not going to throw them away, but because you never know. Technology may go back and like, hey, you need a green screen now. But no. So it just showing you how, in this podcast game, the video podcasting, things have changed. The game has changed. And basically all I need now is my laptop. So I take my laptop, I take my phone, I use my phone, my cell phone, my phone, the camera is my phone. Okay. Hey, hello, that's me. So that's my iPhone that I'm using. But I can use the iPhone. I mean, there's a camera on the laptop. You can use that as well. You can buy other external cameras as well, but it becomes kind of pricey. It can be it can be expensive, and you're trying to keep up and this and that, and you don't have to do all that stuff. So when people ask me, depending on who they are, I'm like, what is the purpose of you doing a podcast? Do you really need to do it, or do you want to just get your name out there? What if people were asking you to be on your show? Then that eliminates you having to start a podcast. Why not be a featured guest on a show, right? On someone's show, like On Air with Russell of Hotel. So you don't necessarily need to start a podcast because it comes with a lot of stuff. And a lot of times the average length of a podcast goes 6 episodes, right? And then after that, we're like, we're not gonna do this anymore. I don't know if anyone's watching. Is this thing on? Is anybody even watching me? And that's kind of the thing that people get that kind of discourages people. Hey, Craig, how are you? Can you hear me okay, Craig? Thank you so much for joining, Craig. See, I'm glad somebody popped on. I appreciate that. Can you hear me okay, Craig? I just want to know. Let me put Craig's name up there. So Craig Sullivan, aloha. Appreciate you coming on. So I am watching, but can you hear me? Yeah, I know you're watching. Oh, okay, good. Okay, I'm just making sure because I'm using this my little lavalier DJI microphone. I just want to make sure you can hear me okay, right? So I appreciate. Oh, sounds great. There you go. Sounds great. That's what we want. Let's see. Okay, so back to where I was. Let me get back to where I was, and let's see. Where was I? Okay, the topic. Okay, there you go. So don't start a podcast, get featured on one. So you don't have to necessarily be or start a podcast. You don't have to have that responsibility. You don't have to incur the cost, whatever. But if you want to be on someone's podcast, either ask them, send them an email like, hey, I want to be, and this is what I want to do. This is what I want to talk about. If I'm a hospitality professional and I want to come on and talk about, maybe I'm opening up a new restaurant or within this hotel, we're going through this extensive renovation, or whatever it is, you can do that, right? You can reach out to me, ask me to come on and talk about what you do, who you are, what you do, and how you can help people. And you don't have to worry about, because it's basically like plug and play. Okay, you just show up. You just say, I send you the link. You click the link on that time. Boom, we're doing the show. You know what I mean? And you don't have to worry about all the ins and outs of doing a podcast. Okay, so now that you got me, now you got the background of why I wanted to talk about this particular topic. I have a little, intro. I have to talk first. I have to read something before I get into the different points that I want to make. Okay, let's see. Uh, 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 uh. So a lot of people, like I said, they want to start a podcast. Today we're talking about something I think a lot of hotels, a lot of hotel people, some CVB people, destination people, they overthink this whole thing, right? When they hear podcast or show, they immediately think, I don't have time to start one. And maybe you don't have time to start one. And that's okay, right? And guess what? You don't have to. But you absolutely should be showing up on one. Okay. So even if you don't have time to start one, you need to show up on one, because in today's hospitality world, visibility equals opportunity. Okay. And being featured on the right show can put your hotel destination directly in front of planners, decision makers, and buyers. Okay. Without you ever making a cold call sales. Okay. Who wants to do cold call anyway? Cold call sales. No one. I don't want to do that stuff either. So let's talk about why being a guest might be one of the smartest marketing moves you can make this year. So it's all about marketing, right? It's all about putting your brand out there so everyone can see it. Oh, you love those mics? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And let me just put this other comment up there. Russell, I agree, but you can do vlogs on location. Sometimes the camera in your pocket is the best, and the mics Russell is using are not. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The camera in your pocket. If you want to see, this is the thing. If you want to do it, you can do it, right? You don't have to do any of this production. Just like Craig said, you can use your phone, right? I'm using my phone right now as this camera. That's my phone I'm using. It just happens to be going through Restream and through my laptop because I'm at home, right? But guess what? Tomorrow, I'm going to be out in Chandler, Arizona. I already talked about that, right? So I'm going to be there using my phone. I probably still be using my laptop too, because I'll be sitting down doing some conversations or having some conversations. But it's easy just to use your phone, and I think, I haven't tried this yet, but I'm pretty sure I can use Restream on my phone. I just haven't done it. I never had a need to do it because I'm always working. I'm always doing this show from home, but I do it remote as well. But I just take my laptop along with me. So that's how I travel, right? That's how I do the show. But it's not that the microphones are not expensive. This microphone that I just bought, this was like $99, under $100, right? So I was kind of surprised. And it comes with two of them. It comes with two microphones. So I can give, I have one, I give one to my guest or whatever, and then we can just go with it. We just go for it. So yeah, so thank you so much, Craig. I do appreciate your comments. What else he said? I'm on off clock tomorrow, 9 a.m. on YouTube. Okay, let me just put that up there. Okay, let me put that up there. I am on off the clock. That's Craig's show. Is that your show? That's who's is that your show, or is that Policy? I know you're gonna be a guest on Policy, right? Tomorrow at 9 a.m. on YouTube Live. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I remember that. And so no, I appreciate you telling me that, Craig. So we'll make sure we support Craig. We make sure we support our friends, that is for sure. So where was I again? Let me get back to here. So okay, so once again, we're gonna get to these points, right? Real quick, because they don't have to be that long. This show doesn't have to be that long, but sometimes I make it that way. Don't start a podcast, get featured on one. I already said that. I don't need to go back over that again. So, okay, so what does it do? Point number one: instant visibility without the heavy lifting. Didn't I say that? Starting a show takes time, equipment, editing, and consistency. Well, the editing comes with, okay, I do live shows, right? So I don't have to edit. And that's the reason why I do live shows, because I don't like to edit. I can edit. Yeah, you become good at some of these things, but is that the best use of your time? So I just say, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. If I make mistakes, I'm just gonna go with it, because that's me. That's part of life, right? You do make mistakes, right? Everything's not gonna be perfect. And that's another thing. People that have started podcasts, they kind of got away from it because they think they have to look a certain way. I gotta be dressed up. My hair has to be this way. I gotta get my nails done. I mean, you can talk yourself out of anything, right? So when I started this thing, I don't know, years ago, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. And whatever happens, happens. Okay. Because if I always made excuses for why I shouldn't do this podcast, I never would have done it. I would have stopped at 6. Well, now I'm at 3:30. Okay. So there you go. So I'm a living example of that. Okay. Okay. Policies. Okay. I do film shows mainly, and yes, we edit. I know you do. I know you do. So these are comments from Craig. Yes, he edits. They edit their. He has a producer and everything. See, Russell of Hotels has not got to that point yet. Okay, so but yes, be yourself. That's the thing. Be yourself. I think that is the most important thing. Don't try to be someone else. You know, you see other people that do podcasts. Well, I want to be like that person. No, be like you. Okay, I watched everybody. I watched Craig. I watched Glenn. I watched Bruce. I watched, all these people, Scott, Sarah. I watched everybody's, Kat, Von B. I watched all these people from around the world doing these podcasts, right? And I'm like, I mean, I like their content, all their content is cool, but I can't be them. And just like they can't be me, right? So just be you, right? So if it's me that doesn't want to edit, well then damn it, then don't do the editing. Just do the live show and just keep it moving. Okay. So that's what I do. Okay. So that's how I do it. And everybody will get their own, feeling for it, or their own niche, if you will, on how to do certain things, and just do it and keep it moving. I see Chris Black. What's up, cousin? What's up, fam? Where have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. In fact, I just saw you on Facebook, and I think I sent you like something or something just recently, because I haven't seen you in a while. I think you posted a new picture. That's what it was. So, hope you are well. Hope the family is good as well. Also, we have our 200th show and 5th year anniversary of Friday Night Audit this Friday. Okay, very good. So Friday Night Audit, I've been on there 2 times, so I appreciate them invite me to come on. So their 200th show and 5th year anniversary of Friday Night Audit is coming up this Friday. So check that out. That is on Love You Too, cousin. That is on is that LinkedIn and YouTube. I believe that's on LinkedIn and YouTube. Friday Night Audit with Craig and Glenn Hausman. Okay, so make sure you guys check that out. And if they ask, well, how'd you get here? Tell them Russell of Hotel sent you. Okay, just tell them that. Just tell them that. So, okay, let's get back to this. Okay, so number 1, instant visibility without the heavy lifting. And I already think did I go through this? Starting a show takes time, equipment, editing, and consistency. But being a guest, you just show up and share your story. That's it. I send you a link, you show up, tell the story. I ask the questions. I may not tell you what the questions are, but damn it, you'll know the answers to it. You'll know that long before I ask the questions, you already know the answers, okay? Because it's about you. I only ask questions that are about you. Now, I'm going to ask about your hotel or your destination, what you do, what you like about it. Did you choose hospitality, or did hospitality choose you? I'm going to ask you all those questions, but those are probably the only ones you got to really think. But everything else is things that because it's stuff that you do every single day. So it's just all about putting your brand out there, being visible, being consistent, being intentional, right? Telling your story so the whole world knows it, not just you, not just the people in your hotel. It's the people outside of it, right? It's not for the people that know who you are and what you do. It's for the people that don't know. So you want to make sure you put that out there so the world can see you, right? So, and yeah, that's it. I mean, that's basically it, right? In one conversation, you can highlight your property, talk about your destination, showcase your people and culture, and reach an audience you might never reach on your own. It's exposure without the production. You don't have to produce anything. You just show up. Okay, that's all you got to do. All the visibility, none of the heavy lifting. That's what you want, right? That's what you want. So you don't have to start anything. Just be a guest. I mean, Craig has a show. Craig and Glenn. A lot of people have shows, right, that you can go on. It's not just about me. But I like it to be about me, but it's not all about me. Okay. Number 2, storytelling builds trust faster than selling. Let's be honest. Planners don't get excited about brochures anymore. Oh my God. Did you hear what I said? Preacher to the choir. Who wrote this? Let's be honest. Planners don't get excited about brochures. We don't want brochures. So tomorrow when I go to IPAC, I don't want any brochures. Don't even offer me those brochures. Email me stuff. We're there to talk, right? So email me anything digital. That's what I want. I don't want anything, because those things that you give us, they're gonna end up in the trash. Is anybody doing that stuff anymore? I don't know, but I see a comment. Hold on one second. Hold on. And that's live with F&B. Okay. Always about the guest and company. Yes. Let me put those comments on there. Let me put those comments on the screen. And that's live with food and beverage. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes, it is. Always about the guest and company. Yes, yes. Reach out to the host on LinkedIn or YouTube channel about being a guest. See, there you go. So Craig he's already giving you a blueprint on how to be a guest on his show. Okay. Reach out to the host on LinkedIn or YouTube channels about being a guest, or any other show that's on LinkedIn or YouTube, right? So just let them know, hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. I like to be a guest on your show. Boom. There you go. Sounds pretty simple to me, right? But it's all about you taking that step, right? You didn't want to take the step to doing the podcast, and that's fine, because there's other people that are doing it that you can just be a guest on there. It's just turnkey, right? All you do is just say, hey, I'm available on this date. And they say, okay, here's the link. You go on, click the link on that day, that time, and you go through a series of questions, whatever, have some fun, and keep it moving, right? Go back to work. So you don't have to worry about the production. You don't have to set everything up. I got lights in front of me. I got the camera. I got this little cubby hole right here that you think it's probably big. No, it's literally as small as the frame, right? It's literally that far, right? That deep. So it's like, I don't know, was that maybe 2 feet up this way? Maybe that's 4 feet. Maybe 4 feet. Yeah, maybe 4 feet by 2, and the 2 feet is a table in front of me, like a little. And I'm telling you this because you'll never see the table. Maybe I'll show it behind the scenes, but I have a little 4-foot table in front of me with my laptop on there, with my camera on a tripod. I have a bottle of water right here. Boom, Topo Chico, and there you go. That's the setup. That is the setup that I have right here in front of me. But if I had a guest, the guest would probably be next to me or across from me, and I'll be toggling back and forth with the camera. But we're not doing that today, so we don't have to worry about that. But that's what I do. It's not that. To me, it's not that, because I've been doing it for so long. It's not a big thing anymore. But for someone that's thinking about doing it, it can be a bit much. Okay, so that's why it's just easier. And what I would do, if I wanted to talk about my brand or whatever, I would get a series of. I would write down how many. Well, what do I want? Who do I want? Whose show do I want to be on? And go from there. And whatever I needed to do to be on those shows, that's what I would do. So there you go. So I think that's a good thing. Okay, reach out. And then what else it says? One more. Russell, they can also find the top 100 in hospitality on the International Hospitality Institute's LinkedIn page. And you and I are on that list. Congratulations. Congratulations to you as well. So so there's actually a list of top 100 in hospitality. So hospitality podcasts, hospitality and I put this in quotes, influencers. And Craig and I are both on tops of those lists, right? So, or we're on those lists. I don't know where, I don't even know what the rankings are, but I just know we're in the top 100. Okay. So yeah, so there's a list of those people out there. Just go to International Hospitality Institute, their LinkedIn page, boom, you can find out all the information there. So you don't necessarily have to be on a guest on my show. That's fine. I would love to have you, but you don't have to be on my show. There's other shows that maybe, you'd like to try as well. And you don't have to just be on one. You can say, okay, there's 100 that have shows. Well, damn it, I want to do all 100. If you want to be that, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're feeling yourself like that, smelling yourself like, hey, I want to be on multiple ones. I'm gonna do 100 in the next, 2 years. Okay, well, damn it, then do it. So yeah, so there you go. So good point, Craig. I appreciate you chiming in and letting us know about that. And so once again, back to what I was saying. Storytelling builds trust faster than selling, and I said those already. And number 3, one appearance creates months of marketing. This is so true. This is so true. This is where the magic really happens. One guest appearance turns into social clips, LinkedIn posts, email content, sales tools, website features, trade show follow-ups. Your sales teams now has proof, not just a pinch, okay? Instead of chasing content, you manufacture visibility. And that keeps your hotel top of mind long after the interview ends. So it not only just keeps your hotel or your destination top of mind, it keeps you top of mind. Because remember this, you are the brand, right? There's no hotel that's out there watching this like, oh, I want to be a guest. Hotels can't talk, okay? Destinations cannot talk for themselves. That's where the salespeople come in. So it's all about you. It's all about your brand. Okay. And I preach this all the time, is that you are the brand that represents, either that's a hotel or that's a destination, a DMC, whatever the heck it happens to be. You are the brand that represents that, right? But people have to, they buy off on you, and then like, oh, okay, Russell works for XYZ hotel, or Russell works for XYZ destination, or whatever, right? But they resonate with me because I'm the one that's telling the story about myself and the hotels that I've worked in or work in currently or whatever. So people have to like you. You have to be likable, right? Uh, everyone loves a good story. So if you have a good story, make sure you tell. If it's a good story about you, or if it's about the brand that you represent, tell that story. Oh, I work in this hotel. My hotel was the Bank of Italy, back in 1900. Okay. And we still have the original bank vault in there. I mean, stories like that, they get me. I'm like, built in the 1900s, right? Early 1900s, and it was a Bank of Italy. And that happens to be a hotel downtown, right? So what is the name of that hotel? What is the name of that hotel? Gosh darn it, I can't think of the name of it. I'm sure Craig knows. But there's a hotel downtown. It's part of Marriott Collection now. But it was the Bank of Italy. It was originally opened as the Bank of Italy. They redid it, and now it's a hotel, right? But the vault is still there. The original vault is still there. It's open, and then you can't close it, right? Well, at least they have it where you can't close it. Well, the unique thing about it, within those vaults, that's where the restrooms are. The public restrooms are in the vault, and I think it's the most unique thing. So yeah, so gosh, why can't I think of the name of the hotel? I cannot think of the name of it. Hold on one second. Let's see. Any other questions? Now the Bank of America. Be proactive. Yes. Be proactive. Don't react. Be proactive. But yeah, I can't. It's a hotel downtown. Perla. Hotel Per LA, or Perla, Perla. That used to be the Bank of Italy. Okay, so now it's a hotel. That's what it's called. And it has a great rooftop. Oh man, it's with amazing views, of course, right? Big garden on the top. They have like a coffee bar up there. It's kind of cool. So if you've never been to the Perla Hotel, check it out. Check it out. Be creative. Yes, he said be proactive and be creative. There you go. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So yeah, so anyway, so once again, don't start a podcast, be featured on one. Okay, boom, there you go. I'm not gonna go through these again, but I'm gonna show you what we went through. Number one was instant visibility without the heavy lifting. Number two, storytelling builds trust faster than selling. And number three, one appearance creates months of marketing. I did, and I was going to talk about this. I did I was able to go to one of these North Star events last year and have conversation with people. People, you would call them interviews. I call them conversations. So I talked to maybe 11, 12 hospitality professionals and asked them all these questions about, did they choose hospitality or did hospitality choose them? Talked about a lot about their brand that they represent. But we started off talking about them as, as people. How'd you got in the industry? How'd you get in the industry? All those kind of things. And they, did a career progression and all that stuff, right? So the conversations were like 15 to 20 minutes tops, no longer than 20 minutes. Do you know how much content is created between 15 and 20 minutes? How many different segments you can have? How many clips you can have for different social media postings and whatever? That was I want to say that was like in May or June last year. I had stuff, and like I said, I did 11 people, right? 11 or 12 people that I interviewed. I had enough content for the rest of the year, okay, with all those people. And of course, they got their clips too, right? So I had enough clips for, I can still do more now, but I stopped, okay? I went from like June through December, showing not the same thing over and over again, but different clips, right? Different clips of conversation that I was having with, some of these salespeople, or they were the owners of their own meeting planning company or whatever. And they're talking about different things, right? And it was all about being visible, being intentional, being consistent, right? So that's what they're talking about. And I'm doing the same things as I'm trying to be intentional, showing these things to people as well, right? Because it promoted not just their brand, it promoted my brand, it promoted the North Star brand as well. So it promoted and their hotel or the company that they work for. So that was like one piece promoted 4 different entities, okay, which is great. So those are things that you can get from doing these kind of interviews or conversations, right? So one appearance creates months of marketing. And that's what you want, right? Because everybody wants to sell. Everybody wants to be in front of people. Oh my God, I got to be in front of them. I got to go here. I got to go there. And yeah, that's good that we do that because that's all part of that's all part of the process too. But what if you can't do those things? What if for whatever reason, okay, we can't travel anymore? So what do? You just stop? You gonna quit your job? No, 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 no. You still have to promote. You still have to promote what you do, promote who you work for. You still have to do those things, right? So let's just remember that. So let's just say, hey, I can't travel anymore. What would I do? You would be an expert on social media. You'd be an expert on being a guest on someone's podcast. Because if that's the only way you can promote yourself or promote your company, your organization, then you would have to do that, right? So let's just make sure we do that now where we don't necessarily have to do it 100% of the time now yet. But I'm telling you, moving into the future, I mean, I'm talking about the end of this year, going into next year. If you're not doing things like a show like this, podcast, you're not a guest, you're going to be behind the 8 ball because it's all about the visibility factor. It's all about being visible. It's all about being intentional, visibility, being consistent. Those things matter. And we need to start paying attention to that because if you're not, you're going to be behind the 8 ball and your competition, they're going to start doing it and they're going to start eating your lunch. Okay. And you don't want anyone, I like to eat. I don't want anyone taking my lunch. Okay. So I want to be on the forefront and I don't want to be on the back end of that. So let's just make sure that we're doing everything we can to promote our brands. And if that's our personal brand or the brand we represent, but it all starts with you. Okay. So just make sure that we are doing that. If you hit 30 minutes plus cut edit the into two parts easy once you hit 30 minutes recorded length, most people check out it. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah. So a lot of times, like, okay, my show, I'm at 45 minutes, right? So I can easily break up this show, right? I can easily break this up into different parts, right? I have this program where it basically, I don't know how it does it, but things which you're making a point, it will break it up for you, right? And it's part of AI. So you just breaks it up where you have this hour-long program, but it's breaking it down into maybe 30-second spots, 30-second, things that you're saying, right? So 30-second segments. So yeah, so there's a lot of tools to use for that. But yeah, what you don't want is a long going thing, because that's not long form video is not the end thing anymore, right? I do it because I love to talk, right? And I'm going to post it, and I know people that follow me, they still look at it, okay? But I will take this same video and just splice it down where I can put it on I can put it on other, like TikTok. TikTok is all about short, reels or whatever. Instagram, I can do that, right? So those are things that I do. So behind the scenes, I'll do that and I'll put those on those other platforms. So good point, Craig. Thank you so much. So there we go. So I think that's about it. Let's move on. So okay. So this is a QR code, right? So make sure, like, and that's another thing, right? Things you pick up on the go. Now, if you notice, I mean, maybe people didn't notice as I was going through, I was scrolling through the different scenes. Like I started with this scene, right? You see the QR code over the front desk, right? And then I went to another scene, and then you see the logo. So every other scene is a QR code. Boom, logo. So that's intentional that I did that. Okay, and then we end up with the big QR code in the middle, because this is the last screen or last scene, and I'm almost done with the show. So yeah, so just make sure you have all the tools so people can find you. Okay, you can't tell people how to buy you. Okay, does that make sense? Like, I'm on 5 different platforms right now because I don't know this is going to resonate with. Is going to resonate with people on LinkedIn? I would hope so. Yeah. On YouTube, okay. Twitch, we don't know, it's a gaming platform, but guess what? Gamers use hotels. Okay. Instagram, Facebook. Okay. So those are all the 5 platforms that I am currently streaming to as we speak. Right. 5 at the same time. One piece of content, 5 platforms. Okay. I can't tell people how to buy me. I can't tell people what to do with that information, right? On either one of these platforms. So that's why I'm streaming to those 5 different platforms. Okay. So, but at the end of the day, it's all about the information that you're presenting and how to get a hold of someone. So the QR code is there, my email is there, my website is there. So feel free to use your phone, click on that, boom, you get all my information, and we go from there. So that's it. So I just wanted to come on. Didn't need to be on here long. I appreciate the comments and questions. Appreciate you, Craig. Appreciate Chris Black coming on, just making a comment. I do appreciate all of that. Let me check Instagram. I see Lux Cakery. Thank you so much, Lux Cakery, for joining as well. Where are you joining me from? I always want to ask people now, like, where are you joining me from? Because it's to me, it's important, right, that I know where around the world these people or people are joining, right? And I mean, it's just for me, right? If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. No, but I want you to tell me, right? So I know Craig is in Orange County. I don't at Orange County, California, but he could be traveling somewhere, right? So he can say, "Oh, yeah, I'm from Orange County, but I'm in San Diego today, or I'm in Costa Rica, fishing, on vacation, chilling, relaxing." So no, I always would love to know where people are. So that is it. Let me just see if she nope has not done that. So anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day. I will be once again where I'll be, and I will boom. I'll be there. I'll be there. So that's tomorrow. I will be there at the Gila River Resort and Casino, Wild Horse Pass, Chandler, Arizona. Looking forward to that. I've never been at a hotel before. I've never even seen it. I don't think I've ever driven by it. Sometimes I go to Phoenix and go to the area, and you drive by certain things like, oh my God, I never seen that before. I never noticed that. Well, I never noticed this before. So I'm looking forward to going. Looking forward to my appointments. I want to say I have over 20 appointments, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Getting introduced to new hotels, new destinations, new salespeople, and I appreciate that. But then also, I get reacquainted with the people that I already know. Right? Maybe they've been promoted. Maybe their properties have undergone renovation. Maybe their destinations have opened up new hotels or new meeting facilities, all that kind of stuff. So it's all about being educated on those different things when it comes to meetings, right? Because a group of us, I mean, there's, I don't know, probably a couple hundred people that will attend. Half of them are meeting professionals, independent planners, and the other half are suppliers, which would be hotel people as well as destination people, right? People that represent destinations. So it's always good to get those mix of people and share ideas of what you're doing. Even if you're all meeting professionals, you're all independent, you all own your own business, right? And it's always good to get a fresh take on how they do their business. Are they commission only? Are they, they charge an upfront fee? How they do their accounting? All those things, that stuff matters, especially when you have a group of independent planners, independent business owners. Not everyone knows everything, right? So it's good to be in the room with people where you can glean as much information as you can. And that's why I love going, right? Because I always learn something new. I always see a new way of doing things. Um, and it's a way to putting your brand out there, right? Let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help. So there you go. That's what it's all about, right? So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, don't worry, I'll be talking about it in the coming days. So there you go. So that is it for today. Thank you so much. This was show number 330 of On Air with Russell of Hotels. I appreciate the comments. That's what it's all about to me, right? The comment. So it doesn't matter to me how long it takes, right? Because if people are engaging, that's what I love, right? It's all about the engagement. People are people are taking time out of their day to make comments. So damn it, I'm gonna make sure that I'm here to field all that stuff and put it on the screen because to me, it's all about those people. It's not about me, right? I'm just the I guess the tool to put stuff out for you. Okay, that's it, right? I'm the one that's trying to elevate brands, right? But along the way, it elevates my brand as well. That's the thing that people don't seem to get. You can elevate someone else's brand and still elevate your brand as well. Hence, you're doing a podcast. You have two people coming on. You're elevating your brand and the two people you have coming on. So that's three people. One show, three brands elevated or this way up. So so there you go. See, but not everybody thinks like that, right? Not everybody thinks like that. It's all about marketing. It's all about promoting. Okay. A lot of people want to sell. Okay. This is not selling. This is promoting. Okay, this is elevating. This is being visual. This is being consistent. This is being intentional. So always remember that stuff. That's it. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. And as always, peace.